A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Jay Chandran from C. Abdul Hakim College of Engineering and Technology. I am here to present the paper on robotics and nanorobots, its design and application. Next slide, please. Let us imagine a person is under a situation getting ready to office. At that time, he feels some uneasiness, so he decided to go to his nearby doctor. But surprisingly, the doctor said that he is affected by cancer. So he called upon his managing director saying that he want one day leave. On the next day, he submitted the medical report saying that he had undergone the treatment for cancer and it is cured successfully and is it is believable. Yes, it is possible through the nanorobots. In this technique, I propose that how the nanorobot and the nanodoctor communicate with each other and detecting the cancer cells and other treatments. Next slide, please. The word robot is derived from the Czech word which means forced labor. The robot is a mechanical device which is used to reduce the human work. And the nanotechnology is a technology which deals with the nanoscience, which is order of the millionth of the millimeter. And the nanorobots are the robots which robots can perform the operations and other things. Yes. Types of nanorobots. There are two types of nanorobots. First one is autonomous robot. In this robot, it has own inbuilt computer so that this robot can capable of perform with its CPU. And the insect robot, this robot has a head control system, which the group of robots are controlled by the single CPU. Next. And this is the structure of the nanorobot. And first, the external shell. It is a crucial part, which it must not be identified as a foreign body by our. And next is the untunable pore to release the molecule or some medicine by the nanorobot. And the targeting agent. This agent identifies the path or the affecting cell. This is the micro nanorobot, and which is used for blood swimming. It of the micro camera which is used to see the internal parts of the body, and payload which release the molecule as earlier said to release the medicine, and capacitor to store the charge, and the swimming tail is meant for the locomotion. Next slide. And how we inject the nanorobot into our body. Like a medicine, we can take as a pill, or we can inject as using the 1 centimeter cube needle. Through this 1 centimeter cube needle, we can consist of thousands of nanorobots. Next slide. Communication with nanorobot. This is my part. Because the communication, still the nanorobot don't take place because of the communication, absence of the communication. I meant the communication for the nanorobot. First, we can send the communication by the broadcast type, which may send the broadcast type messages and receive through the acoustic sensor, which is similar to the ultrasonic probe. On doing this technique, we have the disadvantages because each and every robot totally secretes of 60 watts of heat in the form of power, and so it has a disadvantages. So on overcoming this, I have proposed that IR communication and RF communication, which is a wireless communication. Next slide, please. This is a block diagram of the wireless interface. In this computer is held by doctor, which is transmitting the instruction, and this is a chip placed in the body, and this is a nanorobot which is inside the body, and this is a receiver unit which is used for the visualizing purpose. The doctor gives the commands to the robot through the telemetry technique. On this telemetry technique, it consists of hub, which the hub transmits the information to each and every robot. The RTIF is a radio telemetry intermediate frequency block, which is used to convert the frequency to the nanorobot. And the telemetry chip inside the body, which is placed in the skin, it consists of the voltage regulator, which regulates the voltage, and the modulator to modulate the signal, and the analog to digital converter, which the computer must analyze only the digital signals, and the transmitter to transmit the data to the visualizing unit. And through this, we can visualize the internal parts. Next slide. Basic requirements for the wireless interface. There is only 4 techniques needs for this basic requirement. First one is the sufficient power supplied for this technique, and the telemetry technique must be of the sufficient rate, which must be the bandwidth, and the wireless link must be the high data rate, and it should be easily adaptable. Next slide, please. And I use modes. This modes is an intelligent sensor which consists of three main parts. First one is a microprocessor. A microprocessor is a tiny OS which consists of tiny OS, and as we see about the, and it's another thing, it consists of a ultrasound sensor and a modes. Yes, sir. This is a tiny OS which is used in the microsensor. Less than 5 MB, which is the kernel size of microprocessor OS, is used in the microprocessor, which is used to the, if one system change any change must be made in the system. If only one robot is made which is changed, and each and every robot has been changed. Back. And the detecting system, if we want to detect a particular place, we use a chemostatic sensor which is used to detect the damaged cell. Next slide, please. And the special features of this nanorobot, fluids can't get inside into the nanorobot. It's the main thing. If a fluid is get inside to the robot, it must spoil the nanorobot. So it is perfectly vacuumed so that the fluid can't get inside. And response to the immune system. For this, nanorobot is made up of the carbon, like diamond, or the fullerene coating to protect it from the response of the immune system, or some responsive antigens are used to suppress the immune system. And replicators are not used. The nanorobots are perfectly programmed that it must not be replicated, and if there is any malfunction in the nanorobot, it must be sent out through the excreta. Next slide. And the fields of application, it is mainly used for the curing of cancer and AIDS, and for the tooth cleaning. And if you want to send a medicine for the particular area, this nanorobot can be used. If you take a pill, it will not go to the particular place. But if you want to send a medicine for the particular place, this nanorobot can be injected in our body, and it is taken to the particular place, affected place, and it is released. And it is used for adrenal killing and butterfly NR, and is for kidney stones. For this kidney stone, if we have any kidney stone, we use the nanorobot which secretes the ultrasonic waves of 1 to 10 megahertz, so that the kidney stones are destroyed. Next slide. Still, nanorobot is not come because of the absence of the communication. By this, my proposal method of this communication, like RF and IR communication, this nanorobot can come, and futurely it can be seen in the medical field, because it is much needed in the medical. There is no particular medicine for curing AIDS and cancer, so that this nanorobot can be implemented in curing this disease. Thank you.
What is telemetry?
A telemetry technique, which is a telephone technique, ma'am. Wireless telephone technique, ma'am.
Using this technique
by RF communication or IR communication, which is explained in the block diagram.
Can you explain it?
Here we place this is the skin, ma'am. Inside the skin we place the telemetry chip. Using the transmitting computer, the doctor sends the signal to the telemetry chip. We have the hub and the RTIF block. The RTIF block is a radio telemetry intermediate frequency block, and the hub sends the information to all the robots. This telemetry chip does the telemetry technique, which means it receives the signal and it modulates which signals from the robot and gets converted to analog to digital, and it's sent to the visualizing purpose. And same way, if a doctor sends the information to the robot, and it converts to RTIF signal and sent to the nanorobot.
After visualization, what will be happening after visualization?
The visualizing purpose is only for the doctor, what the robot is doing.
And what about curing? You told you can cure, right?
Yes, ma'am. It is controlled by this monitor, by this system. The doctor used to, it is already programmed. I already said that it has a tiny OS of 5 MB. It is programmed that it must be analyzed. The program given by the doctor in this computer must do that robot. The robot must do that work.
Okay, what is NR?
NR is a nanorobot.
Nanorobotics. What is the work of NR in curing? You told everything is programmed, right? When, for example, you told for lung clearing and all you will use. How you are using NR in lung cleaning?
For that, we have any cold or any molecules in the lungs, it will be secreted or it will be attached to our lungs. We send a ultrasonic signal of 1 to 10 megahertz. One robot can generate 1 to 10 megahertz of ultrasonic frequency. By this signal, the molecules will be dissolved. Or by using the antigens, as I earlier said, the blood swimming robots release the moles, some moles, ma'am. That molecules used to dissolve these moles.
Already nanorobotics is there.
But nanorobot is not in the size of millions of the nanometer, which is not in the order of 10 power minus 9 meter.
Is now nanorobotics implemented in the medical field or yet to be implemented?
Nanorobot is implemented now, but it's not in the size of 10 power minus 9 meter.
So your paper suggests only the size.
Yes, ma'am.
What about tiny OS?
The tiny OS, because the communication is absent between the doctor and the nanorobot nowadays. So that only the nanorobot is not taken place in the medical field. I meant the communication this time, and that one I implemented a tiny OS in the microprocessor, so that if you want to change one robot is changed with a program, each and every robot is programmed that much. If any change is made in the one robot, it is changed all over the robot. And the tiny OS used for the communication purpose.
How the change will be implemented in all the robots if you change in one robot?
Each and every robot are connected through the hub. That hub one. This hub, ma'am. If one robot has a change, that hub analyze that one robot has a change. So that the hub transfers the information. Each and every robot must follow these certain rules. That for that rules we program that on the tiny OS, that operating system is programmed. For that we use the tiny OS, which is less than 5 MB, ma'am, which can be processed in the microprocessor.
Components of the OS are similar to the normal OS.
No, it is this OS is which must analyze the signal of the doctor and analyze the signal of the hub. That's all. Operating our skin, it can be used for curing cancer or to remove the kidney stones, for removing the heart valves block. It can be used.
In some cases, we have to use the medicines to cure the. In the times, the robot can carry the medicine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. When we send a medicine, we take a pill. It will not go to the particular place. It will secrete all over our body. If a particular place want to send a pill, this robot, blood swimming robot, release the molecules. The molecules will be inserted to the blood swimming robot, and at that place it is injected. And that place the molecule will be released, so that the medicine is inserted.
Maximum, how many robots can be inserted in a human body?
More than 100 million, sir.
100 millions.
Through 1 centimeter cube needle, we can send 100 million robots.
Whether this type of robots can have tools like surgery, like equipments?
No,
not
because
like
this is order of the 10 power minus 9 meter. We cannot implement the surgical tools for this.
In medical field, we have lots of problems. All the problems cannot be cured by only the waves. It should have equipments, no? So how, in some cases only we can use this type of robots. So not in all the cases.
I mainly propose this for only curing the cancer as well as the AIDS.
So for some purpose only we are using these robots.
For other purpose there are certain robots for it, but cancer
in all the
are
cases. Only for few.
And staffs. Myself is M. Deepak, final year IT, Abdul Hakim College, and is my friend S. Rupesh, final year IT, same department, same college. Now we are seeing about security issues in cloud computing. Security in cloud computing is nothing but cloud computing improves minimum resources and your security purpose more over in this time. Due to consistently increase, there are more storage devices can be used in this cloud computing. If we send any mails, they can they can store more. They can store more in this. Store more data in this cloud computing. And introduction is nothing but now since more organizations are moved into this cloud computing because more advantages can be used in this cloud computing. Redundant hardware and software cost and more data storages are used. More data storage is used. Next slide, good. Reduce hardware and cost. Reduce hardware and cost is nothing but if we send Gmail to any other persons, we can store more data and then transfer to any mail. That's a hardware cost. There is no hardware can be used in this, and then cost is less. Access. We can access all over the world. If we use in this college net means we can access the data another net itself. That's accessibility and flexibility and highly automated. It can flexibility due to security purpose only. Types of service, SAS software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. SAS software as a service nothing but end of customers. If we any Gmails and Google Docs, if we use customers purpose only. PSS is nothing but developers can apply, applications can be created, more applications. Now we see real-time example means Android, Jelly Bean, that more applications are created means that's called PS. IaaS is nothing but system domain. System domain means given organizations can be developed that IaaS, that's called IaaS. Software as a service. Software as a service is nothing but they are more demanded and developed software cost is used and more applications can be used, but the software and the hardware cost is very less in this. And that is the purpose of this main. Software developers maintenance has the very useful for this. Platforms is now we see Windows 8. Now see Windows 8 means some softwares cannot access. Some softwares cannot access in this system. If we take Windows XP, XP2, XP7 means all softwares can be accessed. So we can use that platform as a EC to any systems itself. And then this also a reduced cost and softwares can be used. IaaS infrastructure means infrastructure is in this organization you can access the net. We cannot access the net because you have the security and passwords you have used. We cannot access from any other college departments. If my college itself, my can access this. You cannot access me. Without my permission, you cannot access. My only access. That's called IaaS. And then it's but if we want data storage means we can purchase the hardwares and the softwares. If I can secure the security passwords in this I want softwares I can purchase in a market itself. Yeah, types of cloud computing is more in this main cloud: public, private, hybrid and community. Hybrid is interaction with public and private and community, because hybrid is the most important for the cloud computing due to the security purpose. Security and public cloud is we can access the net in all over the world. That means if we send one Gmail to any other persons means we can access any local net centers. That's called a public cloud. Private cloud is interacted with the public cloud. Public in organizations or company, colleges you seen means we can access the net in all other. If we send Gmail to public to private means private cloud is nothing. If we send Gmail to private means we can secure the net and then see that private. Hybrid is two combinations of the public plus private is hybrid. Community is one or more public, one or more private, one or more hybrid, can be combination in their cloud, community cloud. And then security and the private upside. Upside is a data security. It's data security means you have any data means we have secured the data. That's called a security and privacy upside. In the security upside, staff specialization. In organization, nowadays more cloud computing can be developed. In that more cloud computing can be developed means more staffs can have more technical staffs, more technical staffs and more knowledge staffs can be the staffs can be improve their knowledge and more technicals. That's called a staff specialization. Backup and recovery is nothing but we have backup the data. If any Gmail can be sent to one another persons, we can back up the mail. That's called a backup. And a recovery means we can reply to any other persons with the security issues. That's called a backup. And then resources availability. Resource availability is nothing but if we send one mail to any other person in that time, net can be disabled means the recovery can be saved into draft. That's called a resources availability. Mobile endpoints is we can access the net in mobile itself. Nowadays, more technology can be created. Cloud computing also we can net in mobile itself, because Androids can be more useful for a mobile endpoints. And data connections. Data connections is a public cloud. We can develop the public cloud.
The security in the privacy downside. So this is a network fully based by the network security only. The system, there is a list of more concepts are given below. The system complexity. So system complexity is a private cloud environment of computing. So it's it has considered taking the during the interaction between the data or anywhere something. It may be system complexity. So next is shared multi-tenant of environment. Shared multi-tenant of environment is also a public cloud environment computing. We can client organization of the sharing the server. We can send the consumer or resource to by the customers in the sharing the gain unauthorized access. So next, internet facing of services. So internet facing of services is a public cloud computing and is a more complexity to the network security. It may be by hacking by performance of the quality of services can be the delivery of the services. Next. So network issues in the cloud computing. It may be a denial of services and the man in the middle attack and network sniffing, port scanning and SQL injection attack and cross-site scripting. So denial of services. So denial of services. Denial of services, we can take the number of service can be request to the server. If we take that 1,000, if we take example 1,000 times of request can given to the server means it is not hacking, someone hacked by the attacks. It's not provide the security. So we given to the denial of services by using the DOS of commands. So we can counter the measure by the reduces the privilege of the users. So next. So man in the middle attack. So the security layer is not properly configured. So let me take the example. So there are two parties or communication between the data and somewhat. So it cannot not provide the security. So we want to need to security by given the SSL be a proper configurator or installed or plugins. So next. So network sniffing. It's encrypted data can be hacked by through the network. It's if the data can be transferred someone, say communication by anything, it may be not encrypted. Example 0-1 is sending by data in the encrypted method means they are not they are fully based by the unencrypted method only. So we can control the measure by the parties that should be encrypted. So next slide. So port scanning. We are using the HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol by providing the web server to the user. So it can be easily open the file at any time at anywhere. But the FTP file cannot open at all the time. So we can use the software, the firewall to be a secure. So SQL injection attack. So SQL injection attack, we can have a special character to it. So let me say example, if y or 1 equal to true means that time only the SQL injection can be attacked. It's not a false, it should be false means it should not attack. It's only based only true only, that's only you attack the SQL injection. Okay, next. So cross-site scripting. It's based by fully the uniform resources recorded of the website can given to the server means if someone hacker can be attack that server. So we can inspect the spiteful of the software in the web browser. So conclusion, the whole organization can be done by in the private cloud to prevent the data access. Thank you.
Okay, tell me what is meant by denial of service?
Only considered
Consider that I am having a website. Okay, you are trying to attack by this method. How you will do it?
I do the number, I given the number or any character, any argument. We only considered.
How you will attack particularly my website?
It's not fully attack your website.
A very good afternoon, one and all here. I am K. Lokeshwaran. He is my friend Adi Narayan from Bharatdasan Engineering College. Our topic is about blue brain. What is blue brain? A blue brain is an virtual brain. It is an artificial brain. It can perform as natural brain. This project has been developed by IBM. If God's valuable creation of brain, if scientist has been dead, the current projects has been stopped. So thus the IBM has planned to create a blue brain. With help of this blue brain, if the project has been stopped in center of this position, the scientist has dead. This with help of this blue brain, the scientist brain can be observed with help of nanorobotics. After that, the nanorobotic can perform like natural brain, where they left, and this project has been continuous. What is the difference between human brain and animal brain? The human brain can know what they are doing and the future plans of this previous generations and present generation. The animals cannot know what they are doing. This is an overall structures of human brain. With human brain can understand with the help of the input. The highs can be denoted by some object, and this object has been taken by sensor input. The sensor input is connected to a neurons. With the help of these neurons, they can understand, and this output has been executed by motor output, and this fraction of seconds. Remaining slides are explained by our friend.
Brain simulation. The display describe about natural brain and simulated brain. The natural brain input by neurons and sensory cells, but the blue brain is input by artificial neurons with silicon chip and electric impulses from the sensory cells. The natural brain memory is interperson. Simulated brain also like that. Next. How the human brain will be uploaded into it? Nanorobots. These robots will be small enough to travel through our circulatory system, monitor the activity and the structure of our central neuron system. They will be able to provide interface with computers. Hardware and software requirement. The blue brain system is the blue brain system is using by a computer, supercomputer. The memory is very large storing capacity. The processor with a very high processing power. It is a very wide network. Current research work, the blueprint system is developing a IBM network. IBM is the international business mission. Then the partnership with the scientists Switzerland, the EPFL. Advantages, we can remember without any effort. Decision can be made without the presence of a person. Even after the death of man, intelligence can be used. The activity of different animals can be understood. You would allow the deaf to hear via nerve stimulation. Disadvantages, we become dependent upon the computer system. The virus will be attacked in the blueprint system. The real threat, however, is the fear that people will have of new technologies like human cloning.
Human brain required a more internal and external component. It requires a nanorobotic. They require more economical problems can be occurred. But in fact, the future generation has need for this developments. So this will be a leading involved. Thank you. If scientists are doing on current project, this project has been the scientist has been dead. The project will be stopped. So thus at the time, with the help of this blue brain, then the scientist's brain has been observed with the help of nanorobotics. After the observing where the current process has been left, it will be automatically continued with the help of nanorobotic and this blue brain. Yeah. Yeah. Physically, and what are the processes that they are doing?
The students are requested to maintain
Scanning
silence.
with the help of nose, man. Nose. No, ma'am. Brain.
Yeah, it's processing going on. Yes, sir. It's artificial brain, ma'am.
The main requirements are nanorobotics and supercomputer, memory devices, large amount of memory devices we require. Important is nanorobotics only. Thank you.
Has nano muscle fibers in the muscle side of the armor portions, which can increase 25 to 35% of lifting capacity. And also the helmet of the soldier has an opening through which the cool air gets, so the soldier feels comfortable while fighting.
Students are requested to maintain silence.
Next slide. And also one more thing, he can view through his eyewear, and also in the forearm the soldier will be having a monitor display. From the monitor display, it is a touch screen display. He can give the information, and also he can get the information through this display. On board computer source, the commanders will get all the details. What is the temperature over there? How much water the soldier has drunk? Is there any problem for him? And the atmospheric conditions, etc. If the soldier is having any problem, automatically they will know, and they will send information to the other friend soldiers to assist him. This is the thing. If a soldier is attacked very severely, that is he's in a position that he'll lose his death. Until the information goes to the commander, he sends a medic, time will not be there, he'll lose his life. With this technology, the doctor can view what all is happening to the soldier, what is his status, what is his body condition, what are the things happening on, what is his heartbeat, what is the pulse, etc. He can know the information automatically, and as and how he can instruct the other soldiers to do. And by the time doctor comes, the soldier will be saved. This is used to reduce the rate of death and severity of injuries. Conclusion. See, information is very important. With the information, only we are going to do everything. But in a place like battlefield, information plays a vital role. As and how the information the soldier gets, he will do the next reaction. So information is very important in a place like battlefield. So we are using the 4G technology, because 4G technology delivers the information very fast. A large amount of information can be done. And one more thing, the special thing with this 4G technology is, in other technologies you can transmit the information. While the soldier gets the information from the onboard computer, in the middle, while if the enemy soldier gets the information, it will become a big problem. They will get all the secrets of that. Whereas a 4G technology, it is a very secure technology. It uses IP protocols. The informations will be transferred very securely. At time, rapid amount of information they will get, and as and how they can access, we can save lives. It is very much useful in the battlefield.
Ad hoc peer-to-peer is a wireless network, ma'am, which is also called as mesh networking. Mesh networking is also called as mesh network. In mesh networks, the wireless area network, local area network, and personal area networks are together joined to is called mesh network, sir.
Sir, say here the systems are connected to the camera, etc. It needs an infrastructure. Wire system should be needed. A soldier will be running, and keeping with the wires, it is impossible. In ad hoc P2P, it does not need wires. It does not need an extra infrastructure. As and how the soldier moves, will get the network connections automatically. In the battlefield, that is important. We can't say the soldier will be standing only in this place. Even if the soldier hides behind the cave, we can also get the information. Below the cave also.
You told about GPS. What is GPS?
GPS, global positioning system. In GPS, it is used to find out the position where a particular man is. That's what I'm saying. In GPS now, if the soldier is under the cave, you can't know. It is restricted in certain areas. Only if it gets the network, only then we can find the position. Whereas in ad hoc P2P, this is not the case.
So it is mainly used in only military area, right?
No, sir. 4G technology, it is a very vast growing technology. It has vast applications. It has vast applications in mobile communications, media. We can get very video with a high resolution. Even if the soldier runs, the video will get the clear video. In many fields it is used. Particularly, we have explained how it is used in the army.
So okay, what's the data rate in 3G? 3G data rate. Data transfer rate.
Below, I think it's below 10 MBs per second. Ma'am, in a battlefield, it is not only one soldier will play a key role. In ad hoc technology, all the soldiers, onboard computer source will be connected to all the soldiers. As in how the soldier moves, it will have different routes. It will take different routes, ma'am. Even if the density of the soldiers increases, we can get the same amount of information from each particular terminal. From each particular soldier also. Ma'am, in a battlefield, many soldiers will be there. It is not that only one particular soldier will be having access to the doctor. All the soldiers will be having. The other soldier, the doctor will give information to the other soldier. Simultaneously, everyone will getting the access to the information. Whatever happens, everyone will know.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Lokeshwari, and my friend Joseph. We are from Bharadasan Engineering College. We are going to present the paper on cybercrime and security. First, I tell the short introduction about the cybercrime and security. Today, an increasing companies are use the e-commerce and e-business to satisfy the customers and customers with fast activities. And it is security on internet is very challenging. Now, data are transmitted through internet because it is a worldwide network. It can be the data can be transmitted through internet is a very if the data can be transmitted through internet, it will be easily hacked by the hackers. So nowadays we are we are lagging in security to transmit the data. First, introduction about the cyber crime. Crime committed using a computer and the internet to steal a person's identity. First of all, a crime is nothing. It can be happened by the persons, and it can be where the computer are subject of crime. Where the data are transmitted through internet, the hacked persons, that is unauthorized persons, can enter into the system, and using some passwords or files, they can hack the data without any permission of authorized persons. Next slide. Then the history of cybercrime is the first recorded cybercrime took place in the year 1820. The earliest form of a computer has been around 3500 BC. It can first happen in the overall the world, the particular place in India, Japan and China. Next. The main scope of cybercrime is that is in two different ways. One is computer as a target and computer as a weapon. The first way, the computer as a target, is the hacked persons can using the computer to attack other computers. In another way, it can used as a weapon using a computer to real world crimes. That is using the data, the transmitted data. If the hacked persons can change some portion of the process, it will be affect overall the process. It can destroy over the data. That is it. Next. The cybercrimes records will detailedly explained here. That is financial frauds, sabotage of data networks, theft of proprietary information, denial of service, different types of there. In this, viruses are the higher percentage happen here. Viruses are 85%. Virus is nothing. It will be create the damaged data, and it will be damage the process overall itself. That is to be the virus. Next.
Guys, please be silent.
Next, if you already we have seen that the crime can be happen within the computer. The intruder is equal to hackers. Intruder is of two types, that is active intruder and passive intruder. It can be said that the virus is the higher percentage, that is 10.6. Through the virus,
guys, please maintain silence.
The programs can easily hacked, and it can be overall damaged. Next. The different types of cyber crimes are there, that is hacking, denial of service attack, virus dissemination, computer vandalism, cyber terrorism and software piracy. First of all, hacking means hacking in the simple terms, that is unauthorized person can enter into the data and enter into the process and transmit the data without any permission of authorized persons. It can enjoy the media coverage, and it can enter into the data. They can transmit the data to other companies and will destroy the overall process. That is the hacking. Remaining, my friend will be continued.
DOS attack, it is nothing but denial service attack. In that system, it is a historical document. We are not maintaining this so that it can be tracked out. It is very useful for the future analysis and actions. In virus dissemination, malicious software is attached to the other softwares, and virus worms, Trojan horse, web hacking, email bombing, or etc. It is attached to the malicious softwares and attached to the other software. It can be easily spread to the one system to another system. Next. Computer vandalism, its main aim is damaging or destroying the data. These programs are attached themselves at a file and circulation. Cyber terrorism is a very big issue in the cyber crime. Cyber terrorism, it is attacked by the distributed DOS attack, hate websites and hate emails. Next. Software privacy. In that software privacy, the hackers are easily tracked out the illegal copying of genuine programs. It is a very affected by the many popular companies also. Next. Cyber security. In that, internet security is a branch of computer security. The cyber crimes are secured by using many softwares. These are the steps used in the cybercrime security. Using antivirus softwares, we can easily insert firewalls and when we are using the software, that time only we are install the software. That another times we are uninstall the unnecessary softwares and maintain the backup. And we in most of the websites are having the logging. In that time, we are not mentioned the full name and address. It is very useful for the crime strangers. Next. These are the advantages of this cyber crime. The security will defect these critical acts. It will help us the browse of safe websites. Security will defend against hacks and virus. The security developers will update their databases every week once. Hence, the new virus also deleted.
Use some rules and measures of data. We can secure the data from unauthorized persons. Using some algorithms, that is DES, AES, that algorithms we can secure the data. Many algorithms are used familiarly. Two algorithms are used, AES, AES. It can be used for real world crimes. That is terrorism. Terrorist persons can enter into the data. That is unauthorized person can enter into the data and transmit the data to other illegal activities. That is said to the real world crimes. Sir? Computer as a weapon, real world crimes.
It is a historical document. We are not using we are not maintained, so that it is a valuable one, so that the spam.
Computer vandalism, cyber terrorism, software piracy, and all. Unauthorized person can enter into the data and spread the activities. Yes. Active intruders means the hackers can enter into the data which can modify anything from the particular data, but passive intruders means they can just enter into the data, but they do not any modify the data. Thank you.
Good afternoon, judges and friends. I am here to present a paper on swarm robots. Let me start off with the introduction. In general, swarms are a large number of insects or some other organisms, especially in motion. When it is for robots, it's a collection of or a group of small robots. They interact with each other among themselves. They interact among themselves. As robots become more and more useful, a group of multiple robots working together on a single task is the swarm robots. Many of the most useful applications of robots are particularly well suited for the swarm robots. The swarming movements is performed by some of the robots, then it is called as swarm robots. Swarm robots are a collection of mobile robots. Discovery of swarm robots, it was first coined by Jado, Benny and Jingwang in 1989 in order to impart the notion of swarm intelligence to cellular robotic systems. Two main organisms of swarm robots, one is software and the other one is hardware. Software is nothing but a set of instructions, that is machine readable instructions or codes, which directs the processor to do some specific task. Hardware is the physical component. Next, swarm robots is a multi-way robots. Swarm intelligence. It's a property of system or a group of systems wherein the members of the group interact with each other. It's in a decentralized manner, that is, it is also self-organized. The applications of swarm intelligence to robotics gave a very idea of swarm robots. These robots are capable of performing tasks that a single micro robots cannot perform, and also small groups of micro robots, and these robots can perform those tasks. Applications of swarm robots. The applications of swarm robots are conceived the very idea of swarm robots. Studies of self-organized and biological species like ants inspired the thing for swarm robots. The examples are called birds, flocking of birds, schools of fishes, etc. Let us have a look at this figure. In this, the insects, like ants, they do not have the centralized communication. They just go in search of food, they find the food and they return back to the nest. Characteristic of swarm intelligence: decentralization, self-organization, parallel distribution of the characteristics of this swarm intelligence. In decentralization, there is no central control or leader for the group. It reduces complexity. In self-organization, it gives the notion of emergent intelligence. That is, when we need to find the path, it is not already predefined. It is where at that spot we find the path. Parallel distribution, it enhances the functional capability. Instead of placing the highly intelligent robot, the functional capability is split into low-level intelligence and is given to the remaining robots, and this attracts researchers. How it's working? This is the working of robots. Here, each and every unit of the swarm robots is assigned a task. First, the task is identified, and then it is recognized, processed, and absorbed by all of the units of swarm robots. Intercommunication. The working of robots is based on the intercommunication. Each and every robot is binded by this fact. It is to be noted that the sensing is limited to local sensing to keep it as centralized manner, that is distributed manner. The robots are assigned like tags. Each and every robot is assigned tags. Here, the first robot is said to be tag A and the second tag B. It goes on like that. These are internally communicated with each other. When a robot makes mistake, that is when an error is found in the tag A, that is first robot, the other robots detect the error and it quickly fills the gap that is made by the errored robot. Types of communication: implicit communication, explicit communication, higher communication, and RF communication. The implicit communication is indirect communication. It is to find the path for nest or some other task. Then explicit communication is by sending direct messages using Bluetooth, wireless LAN. Higher communication it is suited for micro robots and it is not suited for long distance communication. RF communication is it can cross as many obstacles as required, is not limited to line of single communication. Swarm robotics algorithm, flocking algorithm. A flock can be defined as thousands of individual birds in an elegant and organized manner. The FA was given by Craig Reynolds. The algorithm is based on 3 basic rules: collision avoidance rule, separate rule, and alignment rule. Swarm robotics algorithm and colony optimization. It is a very popular algorithm proposed by Marco Doringo in 1992. It is used to find the problems. It is mainly used for finding the path. It is developed from the behavior when the ant, when it goes for searching food, it finds the shortest path, though it has the multiple trials in the path. It has been successfully applied for traveling salesman problem. Types of swarm robots: modular robots, chained robots, and lattice robots. Modular robots consist of modules currently. It consists of small modules. It is currently exist in computer simulations. It is in the stages of development. Whereas chained robots, chained robots depending on the number of robots and design level, the shapes or they themselves form the shape. Example: spider and snake. Examples of chained robots are Palo Alto Research Center's Polybot and Polypod and NASA SnakeBot. Lattice robots are small and identical modules. They combine to form a larger robot. Lattice robot, they move over different agents to climb over one another, and it's like the sliding tile puzzle. It moves like slides. And applications of robots: swarm robots can be deployed in areas which are spacious. They are used for environmental sensing, detecting, and it has a distributed sensing capacity so that it immediately detects the hazardous events like accidental accidental leakage of chemicals in the lake. Swamoids, heterogeneous swam robotic system capable of operating in fully three-dimensional environment. Swamanoids comprise of heterogeneous, dynamically connected, and it's autonomous robots, and it's of three types: eye robots, foot robots, and hand bots. Applications: Alice Micro Robot Swam is one of the application. It was developed by Gilles Capari at the Autonomous Systems Lab. Its simulations was done in web simulations. Alice is a IR-based proximity sensor, so it senses the obstacles. Complexities like camera grip modules are added to it. Another application is Kiva system. It's the idea of using mobile robots for the inventory management was conceived by Mike Mounts, a graduate from MIT and Harvard. A computer cluster keeps tracks of all the robots, and it keeps the racks of flows, and it uses resource allocation algorithm for orchestrate their movement. Disadvantages: central control failure leads to the failure of the whole system, and robot to robot communication is difficult when the number of robots increases. When adding a new robot also, it changes the full system. Conclusion here conclude with robots are going to be the most important part of the future, and therefore the groups of robot will be also useful. Swarm robots, it will be when it is deployed, and the thousands of monitors can sense the environmental issues, and therefore we can even find the things which is happening inside the human beings. The machineries infections can also be found using this. It will for sure it increases, or even if this day of swarm robots does not happen, but it is coming soon by the new technologies by researchers. Thank you. So we are not using centralized system. Only if we use the centralized system, it is our drawback. We are using it as decentralized system only. That will be sensed by the other robot, and it will be replaced. Yes. Ant colony optimization is ant goes in search of food, and it doesn't use centralized communication. It by themselves goes and finds the shortest path. Using that, we are designing the swarm robots. By sensing the smell of food, we use collision algorithm. I mentioned here collision, separation, and alignment. Collision is for that when one robot if there is a space for four robots, and if another robot if enters, there is no space. So that to avoid that thing, we are using collision avoidance. In-air collision avoider will be avoided here. It's a rule. Flocking algorithm is used. So when there is a space for two robots, when more than two robots goes and occupies the space, collision occurs. Snake boats, one robot is connected to another robot. It is it can changes its shape. It can change its own shape. Couldn't get you, ma'am. Robots have failed. It will be sensed by the other robots. They have intercommunication. They communicate with each other often. They have address. Using those address, they will communicate with each other. And if error is found, it will be automatically replaced. The other robots fills those space. Swamanoid, it's an heterogeneous dynamically robot. It's used for operating in a three-dimensional space. Hardware? Software requirements are the programs. Hardware are chips, mic, motherboard, mouse. In here, we use motherboard, sensors, chips. How to avoid? Using collision rule. It will be automatically avoided. That's what, when two or more robots occupies a space where there is a space for only one robot, it will automatically pass the message to the other robot and it will be moved to the other place. Intercommunication. Bluetooth. Wireless.
All the devices will be known. Likewise, each and every.
Yes. Stacks. It has stacks and address for each and every robot. We can communicate with that using that.